Hi guys, today I am going to show a game which is Fodoseev Vladimir versus Magnus Carlsen. Vladimir was white and Magnus was black. Fodoseev starts the game with d4. d4 played. Then black plays knight f6. Then c4. Magnus played e6. Knight b3. Bishop to b4. It is in the Indian guys. e3 is the Rubinstein variation, but Fodoseev played knight f3. It is also a good move. In this position, Magnus played an unusual move, bishop c3, giving up the bishop pair without any reason. bc3, d6 played, and after he plays queen c2, queen e7 was played because White's idea is to play e4. So Magnus tried to play queen e7 because here e4 will be met by e5. So, but a4 was played, gaining some space in the queen side. Magnus plays c5, permanently doing the weakness. Then e4 was played, e5, closing the center, d5. Now knight b d7, opening up the, developing the knight, h4. In this position, h6 was played to prevent moves such as knight g5 or bishop g5 in the future. Bishop e2 was played and Magnus plays king d8. If you are seeing this first time, then this is very often played in Leningrad variation. Magnus sees that after he, if he, 1 second, what is, means if he do castle this side, then it will get a huge attack by Fodoseev. So he plays the king d8 and now he can go here and place his king here for the game. So knight d2 was played. The idea of this move is to play knight f1, knight e3 and knight f5 or knight g3 and knight f5. Look at this diamond. I made accidentally a diamond. King c7, following his plan. Knight f1, g6, taking f5 and g4 was played. King a5. If I was white, I can play a5 first because then this bishop is not doing right now. But he can play queen b2, rook b1 and re-out his bishop from d1 and a4. But after g4, Magnus sees their plan and play a5 himself. h5 and gh5, gh5. G file is open. Knight b6. The idea is to play bishop b7 and queen d8 and make a pressure. I think first play rook g8 and take this g5 if possible. Knight g3 was played. Bishop d7, pressuring on a4 pawn. Queen b3 played. Knight e8. Look at this maneuver. Magnus' idea is to play knight d7 and f5. So bishop e3, knight d7, king d2 and f5. Compare this both king. You can see that Magnus' king is more safer than Fodoseev. E5 was played, knight f5, rook b1 attacking d9 and rook a6 because knight cannot move due to b7 was hanging. Knight f5, bishop f5, rook b2. Now the g file is open, so Magnus played queen g7 taking the g file. Queen d1 played so that he can play rook g1 next move. Rook g8 stopping everything. King c1 Fodoseev make the castle. Queen h7. Now what is the plan of queen h7? Yeah, making his file for him and stopping bishop d3. Rook a2 was played so that he a2 pawn a4 pawn so that the queen can move next move. Knight d7 improving the piece. Rook b2 and knight f6. Now knight can play knight d4 or knight d4. Rook g1 was played in the game. Rook g1, queen g1. And now, what can black play? I am giving you a hint. Which is your worst piece? Improve it. Yes, rook 8. Magnus plays rook a8 in order to improve his bad piece. Rook g8 and e4, not allowing any attack from white. Rook b1, queen d7 attacking a4. Bishop to d4, defending the a4 pawn, and bishop g4, destroying the defender. The defender of a4 pawn was bishop, and we have to trade with bishop. Bishop c2 and queen f5. Look at this. What a nice play by Magnus. King b2 and bishop cross h5 taking the most important pawn so that the now h5 pawn can move up. Rook e1 was played and b6. King b3 defending the a4 pawn by king. Nice. Rook g6. Bishop queen h1 was played so that he can pressure on e4 pawn, but rook g3. Queen h4 and rook h3, the only move. Queen f2 and bishop to f3. Rook g1, knight g4 attacking the queen. Queen e1, h5. Look at this position. These pieces are in light square. These pieces are on dark square. What a play by Magnus. Bishop c1 was played. Rook h2. Queen g3 was played and bishop e2. What is the next move will be? Bishop c4, king c4 and rook c2. So rook e1 was played and bishop c4. Fodoseev do not see it and rook c2. Queen h4 idea queen e7 and get in the queen and do a perpetual, but king d7 not allowing queen e7. Bishop to e3 was played and rook g2. Queen h1 and rook g3. Bishop goes to c1 and knight f6 attacking the d5 pawn. Rook d3 and rook d1 and rook d3. Takes is the only move. White rook is gone by e3. King b5 and queen d5. Queen h3, king c7. Now there is no check. Queen c6 was coming. King a6. b5 and Fodoseev resigned because he sees that after king a7, queen b6, king a8 and queen to b8. The king is coming from here, here and here. What? Read the play of Magnus. I am giving 8 out of 10.